Hello everyone, I hope all of you are doing great. So far in this course, we have completed our introduction and also learned how to use an online compiler. That means everything is ready and now we can finally learn Python. Now many students makes one common mistake. They directly jump into coding without understanding what Python actually is. They start memorizing programs, but they really don't understand what they are writing. I don't want that to happen in my course. So before writing our first program, let's spend a little time understanding Python itself. Trust me, once you understand the basics, learning program becomes much more easier and much more interesting. So in our today's video, we are going to answer a few simple but most important questions like what is programming, what is Python, who created Python, why is Python so popular, where is Python used, and finally, how does Python actually run our code? By the end of this video, you will have a clear picture of why Python is actually one of the most popular languages in the world. So let's get started. Before we talk about Python, let's understand programming. Now, let me ask you a simple question. Have you ever followed a recipe while making tea, coffee, or Maggie? The recipe tells you what to do. First, boil the butter, then add the ingredients, wait for a few minutes, and finally serve it. You follow it, each one by one. Programming is almost the same way. A computer does not know what you are thinking. It does not know what you want to tell him to do. If you want the computer to calculate two numbers, you have to tell it actually what to do. Take the number first, take the second number, and then add them together. Then show the answer. The computer won't get the missing step by itself. It simply follows your instruction. That's why programming is nothing but writing instruction for a computer in a correct order. The better your instructions are, the better your program will work. Now, here's another question. If your computer only understands zeros and one, then how are we writing codes using words like print, if, and input? The answer is programming language. Programming language acts like a translator. We write instruction in a language that we can understand, or we can say humans can understand. Then the programming language convert those instructions into a form that computer can execute. Without programming language, we would have to write every program into binary number. You can simply think binary numbers as combinations of 0 and 1, which would be extremely difficult for us. Thankfully, we don't need to have to do that. That's exactly why programming languages like Python, C, and many other languages were created. They make programming much more faster, easier, and more readable for us to work on. So, what exactly is Python? Now, Python is a high-level language. Don't worry. Don't think too much about high level. High level normally means a language that is easily readable by us, or you can say easily readable by human, or humans can easily write it. If you compare Python with any other language or any other programming languages, you will notice that Python programs are usually much shorter and much easier to understand. For example, if you write a message on the screen, I can simply write print hello world. So that's it. That's a statement for the program. Even if we have never written a single code before, we can probably guess what it will do. It will directly print hello world on the screen. That's one of the biggest reason why is Python recommended as the first beginner language. Now, you need to spend time less worrying about the complication of the syntax and more time learning the programming concept. And once your concepts are much stronger, learning other programming languages becomes much more easier. Now, that we know what Python actually is, let's take a quick look at its history. Don't worry, we are not going to memorize data. I just want you to know how Python actually started. So, Python was created by a Dutch programmer named Guido van Rossum. He started working on Python in 1989. You can see in the year 1989 during his Christmas holidays. At that time, programming languages were quite difficult for beginners. So he himself wanted to build a simple language that is easy to read and enjoyable to use. After working on it for some time, his first version of Python was released in the year 1991. Since then, Python has continued to improve. Many programmers from the world has contributed for its features, bugs that need to be fixed, and today Python has become one of the most popular programming languages in the world. You might also hear people talking about Python 2 and Python 3. Don't worry about it too much. Python 2 is an outdated version and no longer officially supported. In this course, we are going to use Python 3, that is the latest version and is the most commonly used version. So whenever I say Python, you can safely assume that I am talking about Python 3. Now let's answer one of the most biggest question. Why should we learn Python? There are so many Python other languages out there except Python also. So I can say you have heard names like C, C++, Java, JavaScript and many more languages like R and all. So why are we choosing Python? Well, there are few really good reasons. The first reason is the Python is easy to learn. Its syntax are clean, looks very similar to normal English language. That means you can spend more time understanding programming concept instead of worrying about complicated rules. The reason why is Python most powerful? Just because it doesn't mean it's limited. You can say Python, if it is easy to understand, it doesn't mean it is very limited. In fact, Python is one of the most really amazing language that is used for building application. We will look at it in just a few moments in few other slides. The third reason is that Python has a huge community. Imagine you are writing in a program and you got stuck. Most of the time, someone else has already faced that issue and shared the solution online. You will find tutorials, videos like me, articles, discussion, forums, and many more official documents that can solve your issue. So you are never left alone in programming. And finally, Python is in high demand. Many companies hire Python developers because Python is used in many different industries, like you can say gaming industries, or you can say learning industries, AI industries. So learning Python isn't just useful for your exams or college assignments. It's also become very valuable career skill. Now let's see what Python is actually used for. A lot of beginners that Python is not used. You can see that statistics that Python is being used in 40% data science, web developments, and many automated script industries. So moving on, we are going to see what Python is making. What a lot of beginners thinks Python is not used for making simple programs. Used for making simple programs. That's not definitely true. Python is used in many exciting fields. For example, it's widely used in artificial intelligence applications like chatbots, recommendation systems, image recognitions, and many other AI tools are built using Python. It's used in one of the most thriving industries that is currently going on, machine learning industries, where computers learn patterns and from data instead of being given every instructions manually. Python is also one of the most favorite languages for students or the for professionals working in data science industries. Companies collect huge data of everyday works, like you if you are using social media, you generate some kind of data that is also being taken by data scientists, that usually used by data scientists to analyze your patterns and algorithms to recommend you next videos for you. Python also help you to organize and understand the data. If you have never seen a graph, chart, or reports created from a large amounts of information, that's good, because Python is one of the most easy languages used in creating these industries, or you can say in this data. Python is also used in web development. When you log into a website or when you log into a website or web development, when you don't know what is happening behind the scenes, Python had developed to build those backend systems. Another popular areas is automation. Imagine you need to rename thousands of files by hand. That will be too hectic or to take too much time for us from us. With Python, we can directly write a simple program that finishes our jobs in seconds. That's the power of automation. Python is also used in game development. While most big games are used by building advanced game engines, Python is also a great language for learning game development. You can build simple games like Snake, Tic Tac Toe, and many other small games. Finally, Python is also used in industries like cybersecurity. Security professionals uses Python to automate tasks, test systems, analyze networks, and build useful security tools. So you can see, learning Python also opens your door to different career paths. You can say you can learn Python and go to industries like cybersecurity, data science, and many more. Whether you are interested in AI, website building, games, automation, security, Python gives a strong starting point. And that's the best part of this. Once you learn the fundamentals, you can choose any field that interests you later. Now, let me show you something interesting. You might be surprised to know some of the biggest companies in the world use Python. For example, companies like Google uses Python in many of its internal projects. YouTube also, the platform you are probably watching this course on right now, also uses Python in different parts of its system. Instagram backend is also used by Python framework called Django. Spotify also uses Python to analyze data and improve music recommendation for its user. I have said you before that Python is used to analyze data using data science. Now, I am not saying that these companies are completely built on Python, but I am saying that there are many features that you can say there are many features that are being deployed to the software using this language not named Python. But Python plays a very important role, as I have said. So when you are learning Python, you are not learning some random programming language. You are learning a language that is trusted by some of the most biggest technologies companies in the world. That should also have motivated you. You become you need one of the most you are going to acquire one of the most thriving skills in today's learning world, used by professional in every single day. Now now let's understand something that many beginners got confused about. You have often heard people saying that Python is not a compiler language. It is an interpreted language. What do you actually mean by interpreted language? Let me give you a simple example for it. Imagine you have a book. If I ask you to read the entire book first and then explain it to me, that's similar to how compiler language work. Means you can think like you need to first read the whole book, then understand, need to explain it to me. But the interpreted language works like when I will tell you to read each page and need to explain it to me. So after reading each page, you will explain it to me. That's the same way how Python works. It reads each line and then it executes the lines. Python reads your program step by step in it line and execute it line by one. This is the one reason why Python is very beginner friendly, because if there is a mistake in the line number 5, then the first 4 lines will get executed and the program will stop at the line number 5 saying it has errors. So you don't need to worry about much about the internal details right now. Just remember, Python executes your code line by line, or you can say step by step. We will understand this better once we can start writing programs. Now let's quickly understand how the backend runs when we click the run button. This is not for the online compiler. I am talking about the offline. That when I said to install the Python file, that's how that file works. So when we click on run button, suppose you have clicked the run button, the first thing you call the program, first thing like this, you have first written the Python program. The first thing you need to call that Python program is called source code. The code that you have written is named source code. This is simply the code that you can read and write. Python then converts that code into simple thing like something called bytecode. Think bytecode as a middle language. It is bridge between machine language and the language that we have written named source code. And after that, something called Python virtual machine, or you can say PVM, reads the bytecode and helps the computer to execute it. And finally, CPU performs the actual work and displays the output on your screen. Now I know you might not understand these words as it sound new to you, like word source code, bytecode, virtual machines, or CPU. Don't worry about. I don't memorize everything today. We will just understand. I just want you to give a quick look how the Python works behind backend when we click a run button. A few things that happens behind the screen that before we actually see the output. As we continue in this course, these concepts will become much clearer for you. Now let's compare Python with C and C++. Many students have asked me before, sir, which language is better? Is Python better or the C language or the C++? The truth is, there isn't a best programming language. Every programming language has its own purpose. Python is designed to be simple and easy to learn, while C and C are designed to give more control over the computer and generally faster. For example, in Python, if I write age equals to 20, Python actually understand that 20 is a number, but in C you need to tell we need to tell in the code first that the number we are going to store is actually a number. Thing like this, the computer takes any input and it thinks like it's a alphabet, but the number but the input we have given is actually not an alphabet but it's a number. So we need to tell the in the program first that it's a number, not an alphabet. So that's the how Python saves us from actually writing a lot of extra codes. That's why beginners usually find Python much easier. Once you start your programming concepts become more easier, or you can say becomes much more stronger, then you can later move on to C or C plus for a much easier as well. So don't compare the languages now. You just need to at least start with one language. You can start with Python. So that's matter the most. Before we end this video, let me talk about one last thing. There are two ways we can write Python programs. The first way is by installing Python and VS Code on our computers, and this is called local setup. So you can work offline too. But most professionals like me, I have also preferred this way only. As it can be used offline in offline mode. And the second method that we are going to use is by not installing anything. We just need to go to a website, or you can say we need to open a web browser where we need to open any website can help us to write codes. So from there we can just write our code and click on run. For beginners, I think it's the best way to write, as we just need to focus on what we need to focus on what we are learning. Not we need to focus how to install and worry about those things, as we are beginners, we can say. But later in this course, we will also learn how Python works on our computer. So don't worry about it. Using compiler right now is fine. I can say you are learning exactly the same way as the Python. The main difference is just that the online compiler is being used when the internet is available, but the offline one can be used anytime. So that's the difference mainly. So let's quickly revise what we have learned today. We have understand what programming and why programming languages are used, first thing. Then we have learned who created Python and when was Python created. Then we have discussed about why Python is most popular languages. You remember the Python has very large communities. That's the way we explored areas like where is Python used, like the areas I have said earlier: artificial intelligence sector, machine learning sector, data science, web development, web automations, game development, cyber security, and many more. We also learned that companies like Google, Instagram, YouTube, Spotify also used Python in their different systems. Finally, we got a basic idea how Python executes our code out and how it's different from C and C++. I know today's lecture was much more about understanding concept than writing code, but foundation is very important, as you know. As much strong you can build the foundation, the best the building will become. So the more good you are good at foundation, the better you will be at being coding. Now you know what Python is and why people love it and where it is used. In the next lecture, we will start writing Python codes. We will also learn Python syntax, like what print works, and write our first programs together. So don't worry at all and don't miss that video. If you have enjoyed this lecture, don't forget to like our video. Thank you for watching. Take care, keep practicing. I will see you in next lecture. Thank you.